Is upgrading from the Galaxy A54 to the new Galaxy A56 actually worth it, especially if you've already had your phone for 2 years? Well, the Galaxy A56 is finally out in the United States, and it's bringing several big changes that might convince you to make the switch. The phone is now available for $499, no contract or trade-in required. And since Samsung never released the Galaxy A55 in the US, the A56 becomes the true follow-up for A50 for users. Right off the bat, one of the first things you'll notice is the larger screen. The Galaxy A56 has a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display, compared to the 6.4-inch one on the A54, making it noticeably better for watching videos, browsing, or gaming. And it's not just bigger, it's also brighter. The A56 hits 1,900 nits of peak brightness and 1,200 nits in high brightness mode, while the A54 topped out at 1,000 nits. That's a solid improvement, especially in bright outdoor conditions. Next, let's talk battery. When the A54 was released, Samsung claimed today battery life, but many users found that a bit optimistic. With the A56, this promise feels more real. Tests showed it lasted around 52 hours on a full charge with about 8 hours of screen-on time, which is impressive. Performance also sees a big leap. Powered by the Exynos 1580 processor and backed by 8 GB of RAM, the A56 runs One UI much more smoothly than the A54. You'll feel the difference during everyday use, app switching, and even gaming. Samsung has also made big improvements in camera speed. The selfie camera has been upgraded, and the photo-taking experience is much quicker. For example, the A54 takes 800 milliseconds to capture a photo, while the A56 cuts that down to just 240 milliseconds, closer to what you'd get from a flagship like the Galaxy S24. When switching between lenses, the A56 does it in just 430 milliseconds, compared to 980 milliseconds on the A55. The build quality is another big step up. Instead of plastic, the A56 now uses Gorilla Glass Victus Plus for protection on both the front and back, along with an aluminum frame, which gives it a more premium feel. Charging is faster too, with support for 45-watt wired charging, which is a welcome addition for users who hate waiting around. Software-wise, the Galaxy A56 runs Android 15-based One UI 7 right out of the box. Have you ever thought about getting a foldable phone, but then changed your mind because of that annoying crease down the middle of the screen? You're not alone. For years, the crease has been one of the biggest complaints when it comes to foldable devices. Even though Samsung has come a long way with its Galaxy Z Fold series, that visible line where the screen bends just won't go away. The Galaxy Z Fold 7, which was just released, is the thinnest and lightest foldable Samsung has ever made. It feels more refined, more polished, and generally better in every way than the ones before it. But still, that crease is there, and for some people, it's enough to keep them from buying into the foldable experience. Now here's where things start to get interesting. A new report from well-known analyst Ming-Chi Kuo says Samsung might be working on a real fix for the crease problem. According to him, the upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 8 could feature a brand new type of display plate made from metal and drilled with lasers. This design could allow the screen to bend more smoothly without putting all the pressure on a single line. In theory, this would finally eliminate the crease, or at least make it so minor that you wouldn't even notice it. That would be a big deal for people like me and maybe you too, who have been waiting for that one last improvement before switching to foldables. What makes this rumor even more exciting is that the panel might be made by Fine Tech, a South Korean company, and they may also be supplying the same display to Apple for their first foldable iPhone, which is expected to come out in 2026. If both Apple and Samsung are working on this new kind of screen, that tells us something important. A crease-free future might actually be closer than we thought. Of course, there's a catch. These new panels are more expensive than the ones Samsung uses now, which could mean a higher price tag for the Galaxy Z Fold 8. We don't know if Samsung will absorb that extra cost or pass it on to the customer, but chances are the price could go up. Still, if you've been holding off on getting a foldable because of the crease, you might be okay paying a little more for something that finally looks and feels seamless. Another fun detail is that Samsung might not stop there. Some leaks even suggest that the company is also working on a tri-foldable phone, which could be even more flexible and open up like a brochure. That's something we'll probably hear more about in the near future. As for me, I've personally avoided foldables for one reason: the crease. Some users say you get used to it, and maybe that's true, but I know it would bother me every time I touch the screen. That slight dent just feels out of place on such a high-tech device. So if the Galaxy Z Fold 8 really does fix this with the help of that new laser drill display plate, would you spend just $25 more if it meant getting a much better phone? Before you hit that buy button for the Galaxy A56 in the United States, hold on, because Samsung has quietly dropped a deal that might completely change your decision. The Galaxy A56 just launched in the US at $499. It sounds like a solid deal, especially since this phone has been out in other markets like the Galaxy A36, which arrived a while back. But Samsung may have purposely delayed the A56's launch in America, and now it's pretty clear why. The Galaxy S24 FE, which normally costs $649, is now on sale for just $525. No trade-in, no special promo code, just a flat $125 off, bringing it just $25 above the A56, and that $25 makes a big difference. The Galaxy S24 FE gives you the Exynos 2400E processor, which is miles ahead of the A56's Exynos 1480. If you look at benchmark scores like Geekbench, the S24 FE scores about 50% higher. It also comes with faster memory speeds, so everything from opening apps to gaming feels more responsive. Now let's talk about the display. The Galaxy S24 FE features a dynamic AMOLED to X screen that just looks better than the A56's panel. Colors pop more, and it's smoother in motion, especially when watching videos or scrolling. On top of that, the camera setup on the S24 FE is in a different league. It even includes an 8-megapixel zoom lens, which is completely missing on the A56, so if photography matters to you, this is an easy win. Then there's the software. With the Galaxy S24 FE, you get the full Galaxy AI experience, which includes smart features that help you get more out of your phone. And don't forget Samsung DeX, which turns your phone into a mini computer when plugged into a monitor. That's something the A56 just doesn't offer. To be fair, the A56 does have a few things going for it. It will get one extra Android operating system update compared to the S24 FE, and its battery is slightly larger with faster charging. But we're talking small gains, maybe a few hundred mAh extra in battery, or a couple more watts in charging. Those things matter, sure, but they don't outweigh everything else the S24 FE brings to the table. For just $25 more, you're getting better performance, better display, better camera, more software features, and overall a more future-proof phone. And this isn't just a temporary coupon offer that disappears in a flash. Samsung is offering this deal with